stupid meaningless AI-generated subtitles, which can only mean you tool.
1, 2, is this on?
It's a surprise!
Hello friends, got a package in today from Etsy Outfit 3D Crafts and Curios. Got a couple of jumbo size 8-bit retro NES cartridges that are going to make excellent wall decor in this kind of retro studio room that we've been putting together for the past few months. Got the first 3 Castlevania games represented in here, so let's take a look. I was looking around for different decor, definitely retro themed, and it was one of those things where like I knew it when I saw it. It didn't really start out with anything particular in mind, but I'm really curious about these things. Got interesting packing material here. Kind of reminds me of honeycomb cereal a little bit. Shows you where my head's been lately. Keto blues. Sugar and carbs sounds really good right about now. And we got double layers here. There we are. And first up we have the original OG Castlevania, 1987. One of my favorite games of all time. Just looking at that art label, man, takes me way back. As I'm sure it does for many, many others. Whether you're an old dog like me or you're a newer player who's just discovered this game recently, every retro gamer's got some Castlevania stories. And now my personal favorite. Anybody who's followed this channel for any length of time, you have surely seen Simon's Quest references littered about. Very strong sentimental attachments to that one. There's a lot of people that talk a lot of smack about that game, but you won't hear me ever say a bad word about it. Other than, of course, the translation was bad. When it was being localized for the American market, a lot of the translation got botched, but thankfully there's a place called romhacking.net with a lot of talented people who've remedied all that. And this is one of the most modded NES games that you'll find, and the creative additions that have been put in by the talented modders out there is something to check out if you've ever been a fan of this game. You'll really dig it. And last but not least, this one is a lot of people's favorite from the NES Castlevania lineup, and it's very easy to see why. This is the game where they kind of went back to basics. Simon's Quest, for its time, was a failure. It's my personal opinion that it was a little too ahead of its time. It had action-adventure / role-playing elements that we wouldn't see until 1997 with Symphony of the Night that fans would embrace, but in 1988, a lot of that stuff was a little too soon. So Konami realized that Simon's Quest wasn't working. They took things back to basics and expanded on them really well. It's a badass game I could kick back with anytime. 213 is probably the order of preference in my personal taste, but I understand that varies across multiple generations. Most people hate the second one. They prefer the first and third, and I get that. Totally get that. To be honest, if I had discovered Simon's Quest like later in life, who knows, my opinion of it might be a little bit different, but be that as it may, this is the one I have the strongest childhood attachment to. And if you don't believe me, check out what I had printed out for the back of the door there. That wasn't cheap. That ever controversial cover for Volume 2 of Nintendo Power Magazine, all the way back in September 1988. If you own that issue, you are in possession of a hella gem. Freaking relic from the 1980s. But anyway, for anyone that doubts my fandom on Simon's Quest, there's that. and so many other examples that have popped up in my work over the years. But anyway, this is the entire trilogy for the original NES, and I did videos on all 3 games not so long ago. Really enjoyed that. You can click the playlist on your screen if you enjoy Let's Play videos with cool trivia and detailed commentary to guide you through. And these things are big. I mean, you talk about the original NES cartridge. I wish I had one in my hand right now so I could compare. Just so you see what kind of size difference we're working with here. Got the original cart and the 3D Crafts and Curios. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, these things are going to look great up on the wall in here. I don't know who Griggs Ron is, or Ron Griggs. I have no idea, but at some point you were in possession of this cartridge, I guess. And I have made a note on the back of it. Apparently this was the working copy that I have. I think I recall that, in contrast with the one that didn't. I think the pins on that old one were just completely dissolved away. The texture here of the cartridges, very true to life. Obviously this is a 3D print job, and a very good one. Love the texture and the way they feel. They are shaped perfectly. These are spot-on replicas of the original NES carts, just blown up about 10 times over. And the tops of the labels are also spot-on to the original carts. These were made with a lot of attention to detail, and that's what a guy like me appreciates. Had to do a video on these. And the owner of 3D Crafts and Curios, very nice gentleman, total pleasure to do business with. We had great communication, and his service and shipping were top-notch. No problems there whatsoever. Very cool guy to deal with. And let's check out the backs. I already have the mounting holes pre-configured. That's going to be really helpful when I go to hang them up. Got a little 3D print junk back here, but that's not a problem. They're literally going to be against the wall, so no one's ever going to see that. Now there's one tiny detail that I'm not real crazy about. You can see it on screen right now with Dracula's Curse, this kind of prism / rainbow effect when the light shines on it a certain way. I'm not sure why that is. I saw this when I was browsing these carts and several others on 3D Crafts and Curios Etsy page, and it's got to be something to do with the material here that's used for the stickers. I'm not really sure what that is. That is one thing I was slightly concerned about when I saw it, is how is it going to look when it's mounted on the wall. I guess that all depends on where you mount them in the room and how the light's positioned around it, so hopefully when they go up I won't see any of that from right here. And with that being said, let's get them up on the wall, see what they look like. Yep, I'm not much of a craftsman, but I think I can handle this. OCD, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Very cool. I like it. Now I gotta figure out what the hell I'm gonna put down here. I'll find something, I'm sure. Well, that didn't take long. Yeah, I like that better. Kick ass, man. Works for me. You guys who are regular viewers have probably noticed that the aesthetics around here are starting to change a little bit. Thought it was time to liven things up some, and I'm still outfitting this place. Got a couple more spots that I want to fill in here. More on that coming soon. For now, 3D Crafts and Curios is the name of the outfit to check out all the cool stuff they offer. Awesome people to do business with. And a quick note, I recently talked to the shop owner Brenton, who told me that he's currently getting a few things resituated, including working on launching a brand new standalone website for his store. So be sure to follow him on Facebook and Instagram under the handle 3D Crafts Curios for more info as he gets things up and running. Guys, that's pretty much going to do it for this one. As always, I appreciate you for checking out the video today. Lots more Smurfy stuff coming down the pipe here soon, so stay tuned. Everyone be well, and we'll see you next time.